The future of gacha games is looking kinda crazy. Not only have we got a lot right now with all the Hoyoverse games, Wuthering Waves, some other stuff going on, but there is a lot of upcoming gacha games that look absolutely amazing. Ethereal Restart is just a few days around the corner. We have Arknight's Enfield, Anata, Neverness to Everness, and I'll put on screen now just a list of all the upcoming games. There is a lot. So with all these gacha games out, is Genshin still worth your time? Or if you're a new player to gacha games, is it worth playing Genshin for the first time in 2025? Now if you don't know me, I'm Solteki. I've played Genshin since the launch day, and pretty much at least tried every new gacha game that's been out since. So if you like my style of video, a like and subscribe would be appreciated. But before we get into it, an amazing new character on Genshin called Skirk is coming up that I know a lot of people are going to be summoning for. If you are a spender or if you are planning to spend on any pack in Genshin, please do not do it inside the game. Use today's sponsor, LD Shop. You'll save yourself like 40% off. It's completely safe and I use them myself, which I'll show in the ad read. So have a look. In-game currency in gacha games can get pretty expensive, and that is the issue that LD Shop, the sponsor for today's video, is trying to fight against. LD Shop is a safe and reliable game top-up site that I've actually used myself, and if you plan on spending any money inside of gacha games, you should use it too. They offer discounts on tons of games, including 38% off on games like Star Rail, Genshin, and Zenless, and 29% off on Wuthering Waves. Not only that, but using my link in the description and registering to LD Shop, you will receive another 10% and 5% off coupon. And the best thing is, you don't have to give them any account details. So let me show you how quick and easy it is to buy something from LD Shop. As you can see, 980 Lunite inside of Wuthering Waves would cost me £15. But buying it through LD Shop, it only costs £10.50. That is 30% cheaper than if I bought it in-game. And you don't even have to fill out any information. Under product info, click what server you're on, and simply copy and paste your game UID. And as you can see, going into the game, there it is. No account information, no email and password, simply the server you're on and your UID. So please, if you're thinking about spending any money in these gacha games, save yourself some money, click the link in the description and use LD Shop. Now back to the video. So Genshin Impact for me was the first real gacha game that I got into. Now of course I played some other ones before that like Arknights, Summoner's War a bit, but I think that Genshin Impact is in its own category. A category that in my opinion they created. These almost AAA games with gacha aspects. I mean, I'll put on screen the budget for this game. I think it was around 100 million or something crazy like that. If you're wondering, I don't play Genshin anymore. If we have a look at the map, zoom all the way out, where is the new world? As you can see, I did Fontaine. I did a tiny bit of Sumeru, like 5% exploration progress, and I haven't even unlocked the new area. Now for me, I've just been waiting for Ethereal Restart to come out, and it's not because Genshin is a bad game. I'm someone who has played Genshin for 2 or 3 years. I mean, I quit after a year of release, but came back a few years later to play it again. However, I don't think that I'll be able to do that again. And what I mean by that is that if you're wondering whether to return to Genshin after you've already played it, for me, every time I've came back to play it again, it's been the same experience. It's the same gameplay loop, and if you're not someone who super cares about the story like me, it's gonna be exactly the same as when you left. Now, on the other hand, if you are someone who likes story or even prefers story over the other aspects of the game, I've heard that the story is amazing. Fontaine was my favorite story from any gacha game. I thought it was amazing, beautifully written, the score was perfect. However, for me, story it just is not that important, which I think is really the big divide in the Genshin player base. People who play to unlock characters to get the highest damage possible, and people who play to play their favorite characters and catch up on the story. So that is my take on whether you should return. However, it is completely different to whether you should try it for the first time. Genshin Impact for me is insanely stale and boring. However, I think if I had never played it, I would get like maybe a year, 2 years of enjoyment out of it if I was playing it right now for the first time. So you can take my word for it that you're probably not going to be playing this game in 2 or 3 years. However, I think for a free game, if you can get a year of enjoyment out of a free game, why wouldn't you do that, you know? And I genuinely do, over in the Discord, recommend anyone who hasn't played Genshin to just play it, even just for 10 minutes to see if you enjoy it. Because bottom line, the thing is, if you have never played a game before and it's free, you really don't need someone to tell you should play it. Now that would be different if the game was paid, but anyone can install Genshin as long as it will run on your device. Just try it. I think the Mondstadt quest is one of my favorites in the game. Whenever I am on a new account, or if my friend wants me to play, whenever I go back to Mondstadt, it's very nostalgic. I think it's amazing. It goes back to when I was in high school, you know? And I think the game is very easy and intuitive to get into. There is a lot of things for a lot of different players, and what I mean by that is you don't really need to do any of the endgame content. So if the character building aspect isn't your thing and you're just here for the story or, you know, collecting your favorite characters, that's totally fine. There are characters that are way more powerful than others, so if you want to be the person who does, you know, the most damage, you might skip the Tartaglia and get a Raiden Shogun, that sort of thing. If you're someone who likes to 100% collect everything, there are a ridiculous amount of chests and exploration you can do. As you can see, it tells you the exploration you have of every area. There's even some online resources like Genshin Interactive Map that will show you where all the chests are around the map. So if you are a bit of a collector like me, you might want to go around and get all of them. It has a bit for everyone, and especially if you're someone like me who likes a bit of all of that, it is pretty perfect of a game. The visuals are stunning. It's one of my favorite graphical styles in a gacha game. I do prefer the style of this over Wuthering Waves. Just at the moment, the gameplay loop for Wuthering is more exciting to me. And I think in the future, I probably won't ever return to Genshin. However, it is something that I keep updated and installed on my device, just because a few of my friends play it, because, you know, sometimes I like to go in and just have a look at my characters and stuff. It's a cool game. So yeah, that's my thoughts. TLDR, I think that if you've never played Genshin, you should play it. There's no reason not to. It's free. See if you enjoy it, and I think that you will. And if you are a returning player wondering whether you should come back, I think that if you haven't played Fontaine, if you quit before Fontaine, you should definitely come back and play through Fontaine. That was one of my favorite game experiences in Genshin. However, if you didn't really care about story at all, I don't think there is any reason to come back to Genshin at the moment. You can totally disagree with me, and it's fine if you do. I would appreciate if you didn't just dislike and click off. If you disagree with anything I've said, leave a comment. Let's have a discussion about it. But I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope it was helpful. And again, Ethereal Restart is coming out, so if you want a guild to play with, make sure to join the Discord link in the description. And again, massive shout out to LD Shop. There will be a link in the description and a pinned comment, so go check them out if you're buying any in-game currency for any gacha game. Have a good day. See ya.